it's Talisha, and today I'm super excited to bring you part 3 of Bambi's recovery. The video you are about to watch is really exciting because she's finally back out in the paddock. She has no bandages on anymore and her healing is just honestly insane. So make sure you watch the whole video to see how much her cuts have improved, and even go back to the first video to compare, because honestly the improvement from the first video, which when I am filming this is a month ago, is honestly insane. In the next video that I do in this series I will do a comparison, but I just wanted to get a little bit more healing done until I do that final comparison, because they are looking absolutely amazing now, but I can't wait to see what they even look like in the next week. Like, they're just healing so quickly, so it's really good. Every single day this cut is just looking better and better. Like, that is amazing, and the white stuff around it is the cream that I couldn't quite get off when I just hosed it.
Oh no, maybe it is. But the small one here is not a full one. That one just goes in between. But that one to your left should be a full one.
So maybe we can just fit one in to go right to the end.
Yeah.
And that would protect this bit at the moment. We're probably, if that is...
So we are just grazing and I'm just letting her leg breathe for a bit. She was very itchy under the bandage, which is understandable, so I'm just going to leave it off for a bit and supervise her. Honestly, it probably doesn't even... The cut on the other side, which you can't see right now, probably doesn't even need bandaging anymore, but this one down here does, for probably another one bandage change, maybe a little bit longer, but so I'll probably bandage the other one just because I need to bandage that bottom one anyway. And yeah, so if I just leave her for a couple hours without a bandage on, hopefully she'll get all of her itchiness out and then we can put it back on later. That's a dirty little pony. Hello. You're a bit muddy. Bit muddy, Jeppy. Coming over to see Bambi. Friend. Friend. So because of how well Bambi had been healing, she was actually allowed to go out, which was so good, and I'm glad I let her out at this stage so she could have a good run, because about 3 days after this, or not even that, actually probably like one day, we had a massive downfall of rain. We've had rain for about 3 days straight, and we've had about a bit over 100 mils of rain. So the paddock is completely flooded. Both horses are in boxes and won't be allowed out probably for another week, unfortunately, because it's just so wet, and I don't want Bambi running in that really wet paddock. So as expected, she had a bit of a run and a buck. I only filmed a bit of it just because I was watching and making sure it was all safe, and because Jep decided to run around with her after this. She did also have a slip, but as you can see, she was completely fine in the slip, and I'm glad I let her out at this stage, because if I had waited her, it would have been bigger, because the paddock wouldn't have been as dry as it is here. It's not completely dry, as you can see, but by the time that they both go out after the paddock's dried out a bit, it will still be wetter than it was here. So I'm glad I let her out and she was able to have a run before the big rain. So I'm super happy with how this cut is looking. I let her have the bandage off for the day, and as you can see, the scab fell off, but it is looking unbelievably healthy and really clean now because I gave it a really good wash. So I'm just about to bandage it back up again, but I am so happy with how good this cut is looking. So good. And as for this one, she's just gotten a bit of sawdust on it, but it is getting so much better. Let me just get that sawdust off it. It's getting smaller and smaller, so again, really good. And we'll bandage this leg up again once it dries a bit more. He has a fresh bandage on, and I have covered it in Cribox because this afternoon when I came down, she was ripping it off, which is fair enough. She was very itchy under the bandage, especially around this area. That's because she's had it on for so long, so that's why I left it off her for the day, but we don't want her ripping off her bandage, so she will not be chewing it anymore with all of this on it. No, she won't. So I'm not sure if you can hear me over the rain, as it is currently raining outside. Both horses are in the stables. But I have just brushed Bambi's tail, and I haven't actually done this much since she's been on box rest, but it was getting really knotty and gross, so I finally brushed it. It is all knot free and looking beautiful. Now, the products I use when I brush my horse's tails, I will never just straight brush my horse's tails, and on this particular day Bambi's tail, it was like really knotty. So first of all, I went through it and massaged the Vetsense Eliminot all through her tail, especially near her dock and in the middle of the tail. Then I went over and sprayed it with the Epigloss 5-in-1 spray and made sure it was covered in both of those products, and then I brushed it through. And this was like really, really knotty and had bits of grass and sticks all through it, and now look at it. Absolutely beautiful and shiny. Nice thick tail. Gotta love the warm blood tails. We have had about 3 days straight of rain. Today it is finally slowing down. As you can see, our little river is flowing. We are only supposed to get 1 to 5 mils of rain today, which is good, so the rain's only really, really light, but we do need sun just to dry all of this out. Wet dog. Most of my area has gotten between 100 mils to 200 mils of rain in the past 2.5, 3 days, which is pretty crazy. So I have left both horses in their stables for the past 2 days because I don't want them running around or walking around in the really mushy mud, as the whole paddock, not that it looks that bad, but it is really, really damp. You can tell from the little river here, because that normally doesn't flow. We normally don't have water in that. It's only for when we are overflowing down around the side of the house. So the horses are nice and dry in the stables. We did have to dig a few little ditches, like drainage type things, to divert the water as it was starting to flow into the stables, but we got it as it had only just started. So luckily, also excuse the chairs on the bridge is broken, so we put the chairs to make sure that no one walks across it. But yeah, so the horses are nice and dry and warm in the stables. This is supposed to be the last day of rain, so I'm hoping by the end of the week the paddock is dry enough so they can both go out and be out full time, meaning because Bambi has been in and out before the rain, where she's been out during the day and in at night. So I'm glad I was able to do that with her for a bit, because she was able to get a lot of her energy out. So hopefully it means that when I do put them both back out, she won't have much of a run. But for that reason, in case she does have a run, I will be waiting until the paddock has dried out a decent amount. It's just hard to know how much will dry out, because I really want to get them out, especially Bambi, because she's been in for so long. I do want to get her out pretty soon, so yeah. So I'm just out sussing out the paddock. So annoying. It does look like it's just the front that's this wet. I am also in my pajamas, so over here it's not too bad. There's a puddle there. It's so wet. I don't know how long I'm gonna have to keep them off this for, because I just don't want them out and Bambi running around while it's still this wet. I was hoping it would be dry enough for me to let them out today, but it definitely is not. Looks like it's going to be another couple days. I have the girls out in the yard at the moment, because after walking the paddock, as you would have seen, it was just way too wet to have them out in the paddock, but the yard itself is virtually dry. Like the surface is wet, but it's not muddy or puddly or anything like that. So I've got them both out here just while I supervise them. As you can see, Bambi has already had a big roll, as her bandage is nearly brown. that is getting changed tomorrow, so I wasn't too worried if she got it gross and, you know, worn a bit. So yeah, they're just gonna have a little munch out here while I supervise them for a couple hours. This will be nice for them, and they have so much grass out here, and then I'll put them away at night. And I might do this tomorrow as well, because I think the paddock will still be too wet tomorrow for them to go out in it. But hopefully maybe this weekend they can go out 24/7. About to let Bambi out, just so she can go in the house paddock like I did, as you would have seen yesterday. I've just taken the polo wrap off because I accidentally, oh hey, hi, little schnoz. I actually took her, oh it's really hard to see. It's hard to see because of the light, but I actually took the bandage off last night, like the elastoplast, because she had chewed through the bottom of it because she was itchy. So I just put a polo wrap over like the bandage padding. And I'm really debating whether or not to bandage this again. Like, it's looking so good. I think I might bandage it one more time. Like, bandaging it isn't gonna hurt. Above her coronet band, as you can see, is scabbed over. So I did put yellow lotion on it this morning, which is why it's yellow around it, but it has scabbed over. So that is absolutely awesome. But I'm gonna let her out for a bit now. Without a bandage, just so she can have a roll and do her thing. Looking at this, I feel like I would not be rebandaging it. I have just contacted my friend who is a vet tech and sent her a photo and asked for her opinion, because personally I don't think I would be bothering bandaging this. But waiting for her opinion because she's a vet tech, I am not. But yeah, look how good that looks. I'm so happy with it. If my friend thinks it would benefit having it bandaged, I will, but just looking at it, I don't think bandaging is going to make any difference at this stage. It's all completely sealed and healed where the stitches were. Obviously this is where the stitches opened and they didn't hold, but the scab there itself is really, really solid. And I'm just not sure if I'm just better leaving it at this point. So I'm just waiting for her to get back to me now. But in the meantime, I will do the rest of her treatment. This side of her, where she had all the little superficial cuts. The spray and cream marks are still on her. But as you can see, virtually completely gone. I'm just putting the vitamin E cream on the ones that are left to just help that hair grow back. But yeah. They are all looking really good and they are pretty much gone. So I will put vitamin E on them now and help them. But here is the other cut here. You cannot even see, there's still some cream residue on that from this morning. That's what all of this stuff is. But you can actually, so this is where the stitch, but here is where the stitches were, and you can't actually even see them really anymore. So this, I am just putting vitamin E on it at the moment, and it's been healing up really nicely. So super news, my vet tech friend came back and said that if it was her, she would personally not bandage, she would just put Flamazine on it. So that's what I've done. So I TuffRock poulticed both of Bambi's front legs because I have been doing it anyway overnight. Just because her legs fill up a bit, especially this one would definitely fill up tonight. If I didn't put poultice on it, it may anyway, just because it's been bandaged for so long. And then I will put therapy boots on her back leg to stop swelling in those ones, because I only have 2 therapy boots, so they go on the back legs because they are too big for the fronts. It'd be so nice for you to not have those hot itchy bandages on. So nice. For the first time, Bambi stayed out in the paddock all night since she injured herself. Why are you sucking on my finger? And she's happy and all went well. So I'm just making up feeds for both horses, and I thought I would tell you about what I am now putting Bambi on. So now that she's back out in the paddock and will be coming back into work between 2 to 4 weeks, I am starting to put her on the PJF, which is the TuffRock Performance Pro Joint Formula. Now, up until now I have had her on the EJF, which is also a joint formula, but it's just the one down from the PJF. So they are both great for joints. However, the PJF is just the one up from the EJF, so it is a bit stronger. And just because she's been on box rest and she's going to be coming back into work after about 1.5 to 2 months off, I'm going to start her on this now just so she feels great, and when she does come back into work, she'll feel awesome, which she already seems to, but this will just assist with that. So more progress on the healing. The scab is getting smaller and her stitches are actually starting to grow hair over them, which is really good. And where it was shaved, it's all growing back, as you can see. Swelling is completely gone out of this leg after using the poultice for a few days, so that's awesome. She obviously has that little bit of a lump over here, which I think may not go down just because of where the scar was, but I'm going to just poultice this area here just in case I can get that to go down a bit. Now this one here on her tendon is obviously looking fantastic. It's healing really amazingly nicely. Like, all the stitch marks that were there are gone, which is not really what I expected to happen. This one seriously doesn't look like it's gonna scar. If it does, that's only gonna be the bit there that scars, because as you can see, the stitches went down to here and they are grown over with hair now. Like, how crazy does that look? It's amazing how good it looks. Lucky last, this one down here, it's still a bit decent sized scab, but healing really nicely. So the poultice is currently drying, that's why it's 2 different colours. I've got the flamazine on the cut and then surrounded the whole entire thing with the poultice to hopefully reduce the swelling along the top, and I figured I'd just go a bit under it too. Just got the vitamin E cream on this leg here, and I've got some on the front a bit too where there was a cut. As you can see just there's a little cut there, and then I've got the flamazine on that wound as well. So Bambi is just eating her dinner now. Jep has finished hers and is waiting patiently to come out so they can have their hay. But Bambi has more food than Jep, so Jep always finishes first and just waits like, please, please. But she can't come out until Bambi's done because she will bully Bambi away from her food. Because she's a little fatty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited to do the part 4 to this because it's just going to be such an exciting thing in part 4. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't want to spoil anything too much soon, but part 4 is going to be a good one, isn't it, Jeppy? Part 4 is going to be good. Just let me out so I can have my hay. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.